Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, we are going to be doing another full bust adjustment because I need to fill up my closet with some basics. So right now I'm in the process of just sewing a bunch of really basic items. So for this garment, we're actually going to be doing Simplicity 1364, which is a pattern from the 60s. I really love the like boat neck style, and I want to do both versions, A and B, so like the long sleeve version and the sleeveless version. The way I see it is that it's pretty basic. It'll stitch up really fast, but I just want to make sure that I have a very solid pattern to start with so that I can just crank these out. So let's go ahead and get started. Cool, so as you know, in all my videos, I do a test muslin of just how it is out of the package. You can see it's way too long on me, and it also doesn't come all the way to my chest. So the first thing I do is measure from that line there, the red line. It's actually my center front on the pattern, so it's about 2 inches to reach my center front. And so first things first for me, I go ahead and always shorten the bodice first. I know in some fitting methods, it's recommended to kind of do some of the other adjustments before doing this one. Just for me personally, because I am so short, I think I took out about 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches, somewhere in there. It just makes the pattern easier for me to handle, just knowing that it's going to be a little bit more petite size in terms of torso length. Cool, so at this point I go ahead and I start doing my sway back adjustment. I always have to do a sway back adjustment, and I'm pretty sure it's, for me in my case, it's absolutely related to having the short torso. So I went ahead and did that adjustment for the center back. I did about 1/2 inch or so for that sway back. But just remember that if you're doing a sway back adjustment like I have to do, I'm lining up that center back because it needs to be straight. So right now that center back is slightly curved, so you can see me redrafting a center back line that is completely straight down. And I mean, it's a slight, it's a slight line, but it makes all the difference in making sure that you have a straight center back. Cool, so at this point, the bodice is looking a little bit more normal, except for needing that full bust adjustment, right? So it's at the right length for me, and now it's time for me to tackle that full bust adjustment. So first things first is tracing out my lines for my full bust adjustment and snipping all the way around. I had to do a 2-inch full bust adjustment, so you'll see me actually spread that pattern open here shortly. Cool, so I'm moving that onto a new piece of pattern paper. I'm tacking down the center front of the pattern and measuring out 2 inches, drawing that line out for me to be able to line up how much more I need to add. And then lots of tape. Tape forever. Cool, so after you've trued off the bottom of the pattern piece, go ahead. I went ahead and just took out some of the extra paper, but I will be taping more paper back on. I actually just needed to cut it out so that I could like reduce some of the bulk of the paper and also lengthen it. So I just grabbed a bigger piece to retape back in place. Cool, so at this point I'm just lengthening out the dart legs. This next section that I'm going to do after I reposition where the center of the dart is going to take a little bit of manpower just because there's so much tape involved and the piece of paper is so large. So what I'm doing is folding the paper of where the dart legs would be on, on the piece of fabric, so that they're a little bit easier to maneuver. You want them to start and end at the dart point like it would be a piece of fabric. And I am folding that dart as if it were to be a piece of fabric. So I'm folding the dart with the dart kind of facing down. Then taking my straight edge, I'm holding the piece of tape so that it would hold that in place, and I am redrawing that side seam and then also redrawing the bottom. Now, most darts end pretty cleanly at the side seam, but because I had to do such a drastic full bust adjustment, my dart looks a little bit wonky when I unfold it. In my case, I don't mind because that dart will end at the side seam and I can trim it down once I am actually sewing, so it won't extend to the bottom of the garment. Oh, so at this point my full bust adjustment is complete for this pattern, and I sewed up my final muslin. Looks pretty good for me. I like the length. I added the blue ribbon there so I could see that the waist was properly in place. In my case, I definitely still have a little bit more changing on the shoulders, but besides that, it is good to go for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, I appreciate any comments or concerns or any questions that you guys might have. Please go ahead and leave them down into the description box below. I'm sure that there are other ways of doing this full bust adjustment that I would like to learn. As I always say, I'm always learning. So with that said, stick around for the next video that'll be coming soon, which is going to be going into the actual sewing process. I think I'm going to be doing the long sleeve version in the video, pretty sure. Anyway, if you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, all the places, all the stuff, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Bye.